Hey guys, it's Angela and welcome back. I am really excited today because Angie from Science Mama tagged me to do the New Year tag. So here I am and let's just get into it. So, the first question is how many books do you want to read this year? And my goal is to read 70 books because last year I read 67 and I feel like for sure I can get to 70. Actually on track to reach 75 right now, and I would be ecstatic if I could reach 80, but I don't want to stress myself out because I also don't want to rush books and I have a pretty large reread I want to do this year, so they're going to be three very large books and so I'm going to spend a lot of time on those. But yes, that's my goal is 70 on my Goodreads. The second question is what are 5 books that you didn't get to in 2019 that you want to make a priority in 2020? So I have a few. And the first one I want to talk about is A Man Called Ove. Now, I was remembering this after making my favorite non-fantasy books video, which I will link in the cards up above, because I really liked my grandmother asked me to tell you she's sorry. And I gave it to my mom, and she really liked it too. And she picked up this one, read it, really liked it. That's Putao having to say his 2 cents. But she read it, really loved it, and then gave it to me to read. And it's been on my nightstand for a pretty long time, so I hoped to have gotten to it last year. That didn't happen, so hopefully this year. And I don't know the premise. Frederick Bachman tends to write fiction, like just contemporary fiction. So, and I really like his prose, even when translated, so that's really impressive. And yeah, I just really want to pick this one up sooner rather than later. The next one I want to talk about is The Other Einstein. This is a historical fiction that looks into the relationship between Einstein and his first wife. That's The Other Einstein. She isn't really talked about a lot. She is a physicist, and they met at school, and probably a pretty big collaborator of his, and not much is really known about her. I do not know how much of this book is fact or fiction, and that's something when I choose to read it, I definitely want to look into. But my grandmother got me this book, and Boston has been honking for hours tonight. I have recorded this so many times, so you're just going to get that honk. But my grandmother gave me this book, and she gave it to me last year for Christmas. It might have been my birthday. They're the same to me. And I haven't gotten to it yet, and I usually try to make a higher priority out of books that are gifted to me, especially by my grandmother. So this is definitely a priority for this year. And Delilah has decided to show up. Hey, honey. How about you go away? Thank you, girl. The other 3 books I want to mention, I actually picked from my Goodreads want to read list, and they've been on there for a really long time, and I keep saying I'll get to that next month, and it keeps not happening. So I want to try and say it and hope they become a priority. The first one is Binti, and I will put an image here because I don't know how to say the author's name, at least correctly. And I really enjoy Afrofuturism, and these novellas have been brought up a lot, and I'm really intrigued by them. I don't even want to look into that much about what they're about. This cover is enough to intrigue me. So, and I've been wanting more sci-fi and Afrofuturism in my life, so I really am going to pick this one up sooner rather than later. So yeah, Binti. And the next one is Tigana by Guy Gavriel Kay. And I have read his Finnevar Tapestry series 3 or 4 summers ago, and I really liked it, even though I normally don't love classical fantasy, and has a more classical tone with Arthurian plots and themes in it. But I really liked it, and Tigana is supposed to be pretty different, and it's a standalone, which, if you know anything about fantasy, is like super hard to come by. So I really want to get to this. It's literally the book that's been the longest on my Goodreads TBR. So, and then the last one is The Andromeda Strain by Michael Crichton. And I don't know a lot about it. I read Jurassic Park by him not a few years ago, and I liked that sci-fi. So I wanted to pick up another sci-fi by him, and this one is highly recommended by a lot of people. I think it's about the outbreak of a virus. But other than that, I don't really know. But those are 5 that I want to make a priority. Question 3 is about what genre I want to get into more this year. And I want to read more science fiction. I used to read more of it, and I've kind of gotten out of the habit of it. and I want to pick up more. And I think part of the problem is there aren't as many science fiction series that I love as much as fantasy. So I love Dune, I love Ender's Game, and everyone's like the others aren't as good. So I don't go pick them up because the others are actually fine as standalone entries as well. So I really want more sci-fi, and so any recommendations are welcome, but that's the genre I want to read more of. Question 4 is, what are 3 non-book reading goals that you have for this year? My first one is I really want to improve with my Spanish. So I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, born and raised. My mom's family's been here forever, but my dad immigrated in the 80s from Venezuela. And unfortunately, I wasn't raised to be bilingual, so I've only have like middle school, high school, some college level Spanish. And really, it's one of those things where you have to immerse yourself in it. So it's partially a reading goal, but this year I told myself I'm going to read 1 book in Spanish. So I've been doing the audiobook of the first Harry Potter, which has been great. And I was also thinking about potentially working on occasionally adding Spanish subtitles to my videos, which would be a lot of work, but really good practice for me in translating and getting used to the different grammatical structures. So yes, that's my first goal. My second is, I don't want to get into it too much because I'm a jaded grad student, but I would like to finally start writing my thesis. It's just a matter of things finally working. I don't know if you've ever been in a science-related, or I guess any PhD program, you know how long it can be, and I'm at the point where I need to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's almost there, but not quite, hence BookTube. So that's goal number 2. And goal number 3 is a simple one. I just want to become a little more active again. I used to work out 3 or 4 times a week, and now I'm basically at 0, which isn't like horrendous. I still walk a lot because I live in Boston, which you can tell by the sirens, because the street is so noisy tonight, and I don't know why. Anyways, so yeah, those are my 3 non-book related goals. Question number 5 is, what is the book that you've owned the longest but haven't read? And that, my friends, is this guy, Outlander. I don't even know how long I've had this book. I know I bought it because I probably saw it on the shelf at a bookstore with my grandmother, because we always go in there and buy way too many books, and it had all these books in this series. I'm like, oh, awesome, I can read this, fall in love, and I have all these other books to read. But then I didn't read it, and I still have it, and I'm not like super intrigued to pick it up. So if you love this, tell me why I should pick it up. I kind of know the general premise. I know there's a TV show, but I also know it's an unfinished, really long series, and I'm not about that as much these days. I've been burned a few times by some well-known authors. And so yeah, but I'm not getting rid of it yet. I still kind of have hopes to read it one day. So yeah, Outlander. And the last question is, what is one word to describe what I hope this year will be? And I hope it is fulfilling. It's one of the reasons I started this channel, is because my work currently is more draining than fulfilling, and I wanted to do something that felt productive and fun, and so far it is. It's been great making content and interacting with people and joining the community. It's just a good balance to a day that sometimes doesn't feel that good. So I'm really liking this space for myself, and it's been wonderful. And so I hope that continues. It's been a great month, and I just hope I have 11 more. So yeah. And so now it's time to tag a few people. And the first person I want to tag is Nerd It This Way. And her name is Mahalia, is how she wrote it out. But she has a really cool jingle at the start of her videos that goes, Mahalia. And it's great. But I really appreciate her because she was the first person to subscribe to my channel. And we haven't even talked much, but getting that first subscriber was so amazing and really helped me. Like I was literally, when I first saw it, I'm like, I don't care if she's the only one listening, I am posting this video. And I was so excited. So I just wanted to tag her because I really appreciated her pressing that button. And I also want to tag Kayla from Cracking Into a Good Book. And that's an amazing name. And we've been interacting a lot on all the bookish social medias. And she reads a lot. So if you ever need new book recommendations, especially for fantasy and sci-fi, I would check out her channel. And the third tag I want to do is for Books with Brittany, who I've also been interacting with a little bit here on BookTube. She also has some pretty good fantasy tastes if you're interested in that. And I have one more, and I'm forgetting it. And this is Justine from I Should Read That. I've met her through the BooktubeSFF Awards Discord, which I will link below, and also to some announcement videos. Because if you like fantasy or sci-fi and want to know what people think were the best books of 2019, the award season has just started. They're still taking nominations. I'm really excited that I stumbled upon all this, so just spreading the word. But yes, you're all tagged, and I guess you don't have to do it. Life is busy. But yeah, this was really fun. Thanks, Angie, again for tagging me. I will have her video and the original video that she had linked in the description below. And if you like listening to me talk about books, you can subscribe, like, comment, pop in once in a while. Just whatever you do, have a great day. Bye.